let's see here. So, in another installment of the ongoing Twitter, I don't, it's so stupid, I can't even explain it. It's so dumb. Oh my god.
So there's this game on Steam called Mouthwashing. I know it's a pretty weird name, but hey, the game has overwhelmingly positive reviews. And the devs seem pretty based. To my understanding, this is like a spooky sort of game. I actually saw it in my Discovery queue a few weeks ago. Follow the lives of the crew as they weather starvation, isolation, and each other. People were never your strong suit anyway. And so there's this character, Anya. This is her, right here. Anya.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
She looks like she's from a PlayStation 1 game.
Because over on Twitter, there were some artists who drew fan art of Anya, to which they began to get harassed by the Twitter police, and the devs then issued a response to them, completely obliterating the Twitter cops. Bounding into Comics would write about this, saying...
So, basically, somebody drew... Are they going to show the art? I think they probably will. Oh, you know why he's probably not showing it? It's probably because it's going to get the character... it's going to get the video demonetized or get him in trouble. I'll just show you guys right now. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit... There we go. So this is the character. That's the fan art that they did. And naturally, people responded with... As I said, we have a massive mental health crisis. It is ongoing. And this is the latest manifestation of that problem.
Person adventure game set against the silent horror of deep space. Mouthwashing sees players put into the role of crew member aboard the Tulpar transport freighter, which during a post-delivery return journey suffers a catastrophic mechanical error and ends up crash landing on an uncharted planet. Left stranded with few resources to their name, Tulpar's 5-person crew spend the game's runtime trying to navigate not only their survival, but also the social and psychological tensions that have resulted from both their relative workplace isolation and their near-death experience.
Seems interesting.
And it's among this small crew that one can find the aforementioned Anya, the medic of Tulpar, and its only female member. Anya is presented as a good-hearted woman who, though slowly losing grip on her sanity due to the trauma of the crash and the events that follow after, does her best to provide physical and emotional care to the rest of the crew. Well, at least most of them.
It's crazy how something that has PlayStation 1 graphics makes the story of the other games that are coming out nowadays look like they're the ones that should have PlayStation 1 graphics. Like, this is actually a relatively compelling idea. Like, after reading that and listening to that, I'm like, this could be interesting. Maybe I should try this game out.
Her personality and her Shelley Duvall-inspired appearance, Anya quickly endeared herself to the internet at large, and as a result, the medic soon found herself being depicted in multiple pieces of fan art. Wow. Unfortunately, many of these illustrations drew condemnation from the moral busybodies among the mouthwashing fan base. Wait, it says mouthwatering. Is that like a joke or something, or is that a typo, or did I get it wrong? Am I crazy? I swear it's mouthwashing, isn't it? Who accused any piece that so much as depicted her with defined breasts as quote-unquote sexualizing. Oh, I get it. So these are the sort of people who would love the Veilguard slider, right? Got it. But yeah, they say that making any fan art of her with a nice chest size would be sexualizing the sexual assault survivor.
It's just a video game. She didn't get sexually assaulted. It's a cartoon. What the hell's wrong with you? Like, what are you talking? Like, you're getting mad. She's not real. Like, it's not even a real person. Like, what? How do you do this to yourself? Like, oh my God. We gotta we need to have a place where we can put all of these people. Like, you just put them all in one place.
Such reactions can be found in the Twitter replies and quote retweets of pieces drawn by artists such as Spoiled Muffin. As you can see, here's a tweet from Spoiled Muffin with that art of Anya, achieving over 48,000 likes. However, as mentioned, there are some angry, weird Twitter police in the quote tweets. For example, hot take, I don't think it's appropriate to sexualize SA victims.
I agree, but you're looking at a drawing. This right here, this is the kind of guy that, like, he logs on to Twitter to follow, the Lakers, let's see, maybe, like, a politician that he likes, and like, you know, Bill Burr. Like, that's it. NASCAR, yeah. And like one pretty girl. Or like maybe Kendrick Lamar or something like that. That's it. Yeah, he's not even thinking about this fucking bullshit, right? This is like, you know, this guy thinks about politics when he's voting, right? That's when he thinks about politics. That's it. This is a cartoon, man. And also, here's another component to it that I think is important. I don't like the idea that a character with certain proportions is automatically more or less sexual. And I would argue that it even goes farther than that, where the implication here is that a person who has certain proportions is inherently more sexual. And if they are inherently more sexual, you could easily say they're being sexual or sexualizing themselves. And I think that people use that logic as a rationalization to downplay sexual assault that they receive. You see how this happens? You see the A, B, C, D here? The logical parallels? Very, very fucking annoying. Extremely fucking annoying. They're body shaming? Of course they're body shaming. It's so weird. If a woman looks like a woman, then it's immediately sexualizing. It's a common issue. Yeah, well, what I'm saying is that I think that it's so pervasive that it goes as far as women who have proportions that men generally like traditionally. Let's just say that, right? Or an appearance that, like, just hot girls. Having a pretty girl or a girl with larger proportions is not inherently sexual. And to say that it is, I think is used as a justification for downplaying sexual assault against people like that. I think it's disgusting. And that's what I find to be so funny with these types of people, is that, and this is how you know that they're pieces of shit. It's because these people don't actually care about sexual assault victims. They care about looking like they're good people. And in the process of that, they end up actually making everything worse.
Response saying, I agree, IRL, but you're looking at a drawing.
Yeah.
Another saying, when the art style is fire, but the artist gives the character gooner proportions. Response saying, devs just said you losers are not welcome.
Yep.
And yeah, soon we'll get to the dev statement. Another saying, can any of you people draw women normally? Response.
That's right. You know what? You know what I think these people are? I'll tell you what they are. Fat. There are normal women that look like this. I follow about 300 of them on Instagram. I know this. I know this better than anybody. The idea that people that have certain proportions are like, this is somehow abnormal or problematic. It's just, it's straight up, it's textbook body shaming. That's it.
Reading, oh no, breasts, shocked. Yeah, apparently that person's like mind is so rotted, they just think women don't have breasts or something. Like, literal loony talk.
No, like, it's probably, they're just, most of the time, like, this is probably a thing that you shouldn't say, but everybody knows it's true. I think that the majority of people out there that are trying to enforce these norms are ugly women that are trying to rationalize and trying to create a cultural acceptance of their appearance, and they don't want to have women that are conventionally attractive viewed as conventionally attractive because they view it as competition. It's the same reason why women like gassing up fat girls and telling them that they're the prettiest one out of the bunch, because they're not threatening to them. And it's the same reason why if you see a leaked group chat of like girls talking about other girls, you're going to see something that's worse than anything Andrew Tate would have ever said. Like, you know, at least not done, but said at least, right? They're horrible. And I think that that's really, and that's the same reason why, like, you want to know what the fat acceptance movement is for? It's for fat women to normalize being fat, so they create a cultural expectation that it's okay and acceptable to date fat women. That's the reason why. If you look at any of these, like, fat acceptance movements, it's like 95% fat women. Why is it? It's because they're advocating for this so they look like they're normal. That's the reason why. Like, and I understand, like, me saying this is a hot take. You're not supposed to say this. but I have eyes. I think we all do.
These people would love the Veilguard slider. Maybe I should start calling them like Veilguard people. So this artist, Joe-tastic, got over 100,000 likes and over 10 million views on Twitter, making this wonderful animation of Anya like walking by in the hallway, seeing this mirror, and then making a number of cute poses to which the door with the mirror opens and she dies on the spot. It's over.
Oh,
What's really wholesome is this then inspired a lot of artists to respond to the quote tweets with their own takes on that animation. I'll just play a brief compilation for you to take a look at and enjoy. There's many very talented artists responding to quote tweets. Unfortunately, of course, I can't show them all. And on a not-wholesome note, the artist Joe-tastic who made the animation would then say, someone accused me of giving Anya D-cups in my videos when I literally...
Women don't have D-cups. That's not real. That's for porn.
Use the in-game models. I'm sorry your imagination is running wild, but that's not on me.
Yeah, that's in porn, guys.
Joe-tastic, including a screenshot where someone had said, okay, I think it's fine if people make art of Anya looking cute, but I think giving her D-cup breasts and making her look bumbling and stupid in front of one of her abusers is horribly distasteful, considering what the game dives into. Is that not her normal in-game model in the video? The model OP uses in their works looks to be the same as her normal model, and then showing the comparison. You know, it's...
Oh my god. Oh my god. Where do these people come from? It's just so sad. What's wrong with them? They'll never win? No.
It's really pathetic that there's still people out there who will harass artists like this. It seems like a lot of these sort of creeps got left behind in like 2023. However, as you can see, there's still some left. Fortunately, I'll mention once again that the devs have issued an official response calling these people out. And I'm sure you understand why I want to show you all the context first. Because it doesn't even end there either. When I was playing that compilation showing the art, you may have noticed this wonderful piece of art of Anya. Yeah. And as you can presume, the artist who made this also
received
got harassed.
death threats.
Fortunately, other people were very quick to call them out. For example, this tweet saying, people who say this drawing is quote-unquote sexualizing Anya is outing themselves as porn addicts. This picture of a woman who is showing no skin, but big boobs. Breasts aren't inherently sexual. If you believe otherwise, that's a harmful
Well, also, they are to an extent, but that's not a bad thing. Like, just because somebody is attractive doesn't mean that, like, it's just like I just, like, I feel like we have to rediscover fire every single week now. Like, it's insane. Like, we're rediscovering fire with this kind of common sense perspective. It's only sexual when they're hot? Well, here's the thing, too, is that if somebody has features that you define as sexually attractive, that doesn't mean anything, because you still shouldn't try to violate their space or do things to them without their consent. So it shouldn't even matter. The entire conversation around it mattering, I think, is problematic.
Stereotype to have about people who have this kind of body shape. Don't be dumb. Get off this site and learn more. Thank you. Those tweets getting around 150,000 likes cumulatively. Another saying, quote, they're sexualizing Anya, unquote. Look closely. That's a woman. A woman will have breasts and they can be big. If y'all think this is sexualizing a character, y'all are porn addicts and it shows.
See, like back in the day, whenever this shit was on Facebook, you could pull up somebody's profile and you could see what they look like. And you never have people having opinions like this on Facebook because you knew you could just look them up. You just look them up and you're like, yep, of course you think like that. Yeah, I mean, just look at, like, that's the thing. Just look at it and you know. We gotta, like, one day whenever they take away internet anonymity, that will be the silver lining. Is that you will be able to see the person who's sitting there talking shit. And it's like, I am the firm believer that when I see who's actually talking shit and I look at their profile, I know who this person is. I'm like, of course. Of course you think that.
It's funny seeing people throw the whole porn addict thing back at the people who get mad at art like this, because That's something those sort of people, those Veilguard people, often use when they're trying to insult art that depicts a well-endowed woman, and or the people who enjoy that sort of art. And for the Bleach fans out there, you're going to enjoy.
And I also love the assumption that like looking at attractive characters is like somehow bad. Like, why? Who decided this? You did?
This next part.
So
this
dumb.
Response had said, check their pin. To which someone said, I was already following them. You didn't have to convince me. And now we're going to check their pin. And we can see that this artist, Raku, has also drawn wonderful art here. Their pinned art of Ichigo and Orihime. I wonder if that person left a quote tweet saying check their pin on the Anya art doesn't realize that this is canon Orihime. It's like not even exaggerated from what she looks like in 1000 Year Blood War, which by the way has been amazing. Japanese artist USA also partook.
This is the one that we saw.
Drawing Anya. I'm not going to be able to show the full image here because it might be a little bit too much for YouTube, but I'll leave that part up to your imagination, and I'm sure you can understand like what that's implying. Regardless, the tweet did get over 100,000 likes and over 18 million views on Twitter. However, of course, this did also upset the Twitter police.
This is, you can never, the thing is that you never apologize to unreasonable people. If you capitulate to unreasonable people, you become unreasonable. Now you're one of them. It's like a zombie biting you, and then now you're infected.
To which the artist actually did issue an apology. The full statement reading, I apologize for making everyone feel uncomfortable. I was listening to a live video of this game while I was drawing, and the moment I saw Anya, I thought she was cute, so I drew her. I haven't watched everything thoroughly, so I don't know much about this character. Sorry, everyone.
Who cares?
How can you get over 100,000 likes and say that everyone felt uncomfortable? You're talking about a tiny fraction of Twitter.
It's because I think that this is a reality that a lot of people live in, where they get negative feedback from, you know, like a group of people, and they get massive hate for it because of that. Like, basically, people don't understand how damaging that type of hate is, because it doesn't really happen to anybody except they're like content creators. But like, if you have people messaging you, telling you to like kill yourself and like, you know, threatening you and stuff like that, it does really bother a lot of people. So like, it might seem like, oh, it's only a few people. Yeah, but those few people are really bothersome. It's horrible. Yeah.
Very unfortunate situation. Back to bounding into comics, they would say, as a result of the overwhelming amount of vitriol these pieces drew, Wrong Organ, the devs of the game, eventually chose to step in and address the situation themselves.
Thank God.
Doing so by way of a post shared to their official Twitter account on November 24th.
Here we go.
The tweet reads, some mouthwashing fan creators have been receiving harassment over works that others have found distasteful. If you see fan works that you do not like, block/ignore it. Any form of harassment is unacceptable. If you can't be respectful and considerate, this fandom is not the place for you.
That's the case with the internet in general. Like, and at the end of the day, here's the problem. Is that it's a bunch of fucking moral retards going around trying to tell everybody else what to do. Well, I don't want to have some idiot on Twitter tell me what to do. It's that simple. Like, it's not even, there's not even anything else to it. I just don't want to be told what to do by some idiot on Twitter. Like, you don't own me. You're not going to tell me what to do. I don't even know who you are. Like, what are you doing?
And as you can see, these based devs got over 3 million views and almost 30,000 likes on that post on Twitter.
Yeah.
As I mentioned in the intro, I was already familiar with this game as it popped up in my Steam Discovery queue, but
yeah,
I'll probably pick it up for sure. I always enjoy supporting indie devs who make great games, and especially if those devs are also willing to stand up to the Twitter police and defend fan artists in their community. And look how crazy this is. A top response to their tweet would say, some people are already encouraging others to pirate your game over this. That's just insane, man. These people are such losers. And I think it's just ironic how easily they throw their morals away the moment you disagree with all the harassment.
Yeah, that's the reason why. It's these people they were never good people. They were just looking for a way that they could express themselves as being good people. That's it. We used to have hospitals for people like that. Yeah, we used to have a place for people like this, and now they've all self-quarantined on Twitter.
Every dev/creator will side with the artist's freedom to create, so thank you for this. And yeah, that's essentially the situation.
I think it's so fucking funny that this shit has happened. Again, every single time now I feel like any new game comes out, there's like somebody that does fan art of it, and people lose their fucking mind. It is the most embarrassing thing that I think the internet goes through on a very regular basis. If it wasn't for a Twitter police, I'd say this is great guerrilla marketing. It is. No, I mean, this convinced me to play the game. Like, now I didn't even know about this really until I saw that character's art. That's true. I'm like, yeah, this is a good idea. I'm gonna try it out. Like, people said it's a short game. I'll play it, right? I'm not playing it today, right? But I'll play it probably in the next like 2 or 3 days and see what it's like. Every game that goes through this ends up being better for the coverage. Well, I think so too. It's because at the end of the day, nobody wants to have their behavior dictated by some mentally ill Twitter retard. Like, that's just the truth. And what's this? Gunnar Proportions, dude needs to go outside. Offended on behalf of a person that isn't real to attack an actual human being. This is why aliens invade us. Mouthwashing is better than brainwashing. Twitter police, aka bullies who haven't gotten slugged yet. Well, I think that the solution to them is to bully them back and to just immediately discredit them and not take them seriously at all. I think that's the way that you need to handle it. Because if you try to, like, explain to these people or whatever, all you're going to do is make yourself look like a fucking idiot because you're talking to somebody who's a fucking idiot, right? It gets exhausting dealing with those people. No, thank you. Yeah, exactly. You can't reason with someone that doesn't use logic. Yeah, I guess so.